Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pokemon Gold. This is turn 71, and things are heating up with Pewter City, so let's jump into stuff. Alright. Whole bunch of stuff we're going to go through. You know how it is. Pewter City has claimed the throne of... this is Pewter City. Pewter City has claimed the throne of Fortune. We have claimed the throne of the First Stage. Nothing with Arcane Probing. We contacted a Lamia Queen. Nothing with Haruspects. Nothing with Augury. Dark Knowledge found a battlefield, which is a Death 1 site. That's pretty nice. We cast King of Elemental Fire, and Pyraflogos answered the spell. This is awesome. This is really cool. So we actually got one of the Kings of Elemental Fire. That's very swank. We'll see what we can't do with him. We cast Stream from Hades. Very nice. That's another Kokithian for us. Voice of Apsu got us nothing. Gnome Lore got us a Quicksand, which is another Earth 1 site, I believe. Nothing with our Priest. Nothing with our Priest. Got 2 Blood Slaves. Not much, but we're slowly putting stuff together. Lost unit, and okay, we've got a series of battles to contend. So, we counter-raided Pewter City. We took the last province that we are owed from Violet City. We counter-raided Pewter City again. We raided Pewter City here. And we're going to watch this because this is actually super unfortunate. This is just like really bad luck on how this worked out. So we've got Ishkur, Lugal, and Seskalu. So we watch, they go through their Earth Power, Weapons of Sharpness, Strength of Giants, and Legions of Steel. Lugal actually gets chipped. He actually, he takes, surprisingly, from these pin missiles. They're armor piercing, right? But keep in mind he has 34 defense or 34 protection right now. So this actually, it also is a piercing weapon, right? So this rolled relatively high to actually chip through Lugal's defense. I guess maybe not that high. Regardless, though, it only did 1 damage, but that 1 damage was enough to berserk Lugal, which is a little annoying. But he did not finish his script. And he comes running out, and as soon as he does, he runs into these Pinecos, right? Which we know they explode on death. No big deal. But he actually gets Battle Fright. Like, he takes a little bit of damage from this, which is surprising, because I thought this was, maybe not. Maybe it's not surprising. Anyways, he takes a little bit of damage, gets Battle Fright. And takes more damage and gets a chest wound. Like, what the fuck? And he's lost less than 40 health so far. Which is a little annoying. And nothing else happens for the rest of the game. He fatigues out, he loses 1 more hit point, falls below 200, starts casting again. Right. It was just really like, wow. To suddenly get 2 afflictions on a CLX champion like that. So, Atlantis has taken Trouble Bog. This is in agreement with us taking Windsong Forest, I believe. And we got caught on one of our little raids. So this raid jumped into the mountains of Evernight, which we couldn't really see, so that was kind of risky to begin with. And boy, did it jump into a fun-sized little scenario there. So it actually jumped into the back, and they're fighting. They killed a commander, I believe. Yeah, they killed the Rhyhorn commander. But there were other commanders here. They were Aerodactyls. I think they were commanders. No, they weren't commanders. Interesting. Actually, oh, it's because they... So, we killed the Force commander, right? But we didn't kill the Province Defense commander. This is actually kind of funny, though, because that means this army is just kind of stranded here for now. Huh. Nice. Yeah, because they come down and whop, just mollywop. Just destroy the commander's little guard group and the commander itself. But in that time, our guy has been surrounded and actually holds on for a while. Now he's dead, though. No big deal. And it is what it is. Okay, and then this is a little bit bigger news, right? Our Ekis, the leader of our little group of trash, right? We ran smack dab into the enemy, and we got slaughtered. And this is actually perfectly fine. This doesn't upset us in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Ooh, it might change what we're doing, though, because I just noticed. So, this big old group is going to get just demolished by this enemy force. Interestingly, though, there is a Zapdos over here. Which is kind of cool. Oh, and he's got a Flame Spirit, too. Alright, cool. Oh, and this Flame Spirit has a Skull of Fire? Okay, so he has got a Skull of Fire, and he has Phoenix fired. I wonder if he's doing Fire Darts. Interesting. So I wonder if this guy is meant to do, like, flames from the... Not flames from the sky. You know, the AoE Fire one. I guess he's like set up to be able to do that. Got a bunch of fire resistance on a lot of his units. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, yeah, he could probably get away with that. Got a Xatu down here. I do kind of feel like resistances are just... Oh, well, I guess he's got a pretty big resistance plus. But just in general, even for, like, non-sacred units, like Rhydons, right? 25 shock, 5 or 10 fire, and -5 cold. Like, that's a lot of resistances. And I get it, it's Pokemon, right? We're kind of playing to that theme. But it really puts a weirdness on magic. I definitely think a better solution for a lot of these Pokemon is you need to pick an element, right? So Rhydons are good against shock, then make them neutral against fire and weak to cold, right? We only have, I mean, I guess we can count poison in the mix, but we really only have 3 elements to play around with in Dominions. So doing something like this makes, especially... and this is really kind of a knock at cold magic in Dominions itself. Cold magic is kind of the weakest of the evocations. So you're kind of like immediately at an advantage if you have shock and fire resistance, and you don't really care if you have cold. So that's just something to keep in mind. But this Zapdos being here is very interesting. We might start a dangerous game there. We'll see. Okay, so we're and this is going back to that Star Peaks. This is actually good for us. Obviously, if the army had lived forever and we just conquered 50,000 provinces of pewter, that would have been grand. But realistically, that was never going to happen. This army dying is good because it frees up all of this upkeep. And this is actually a fair chunk of upkeep. So. Next up, we found we were attacked by Viridian City. Oh, no, we found. That's not a find, though. Yeah, okay, yes, it is. No, that's absolutely not. Viridian attacked us with a single kimono girl. That might be bad news, because that might mean that Viridian is... the AI is gonna fight us now, so we'll see. We took Windsong Forest from Atlantis. We had another very good event in Viridian City. We had this, I don't remember where it was last time, like Kunal or something like that. But 25 income and 25 resource permanently is amazing. That's incredibly good. Got discovered in Stonegrave Mountains. This is the giant Viridian pile. Got discovered in Cerulean City by Pewter City. We've breached the Dragonscale Mountains, cured some afflictions, did some patrolling, did some promotions. Okay. We've got a whole bunch of movement going on. Let's take a look at our score graphs real quick. You can see our provinces are shooting up. We are slowly but surely catching up towards Pewter City. Forts are still kind of top of everyone except for Pewter. Income, we are still competing with Pewter in. Gem income, still significantly lower than Pewter, and that's probably going to be that way for the majority of the rest of the game. Research-wise, Pewter is slowly gaining on us. Dominion-wise, we had a little bit of an uptick here. We are probably going to have a continuing uptick for a while because we are going to start claiming thrones, and that's really going to help our spread. We're also going to be dropping some temples here or there, and that's going to be helping our spread. Army size, we actually didn't check this last turn. I'm sorry about that. I meant to and then forgot to. This is the result of that massive battle between Viridian and Pewter. They both had a marginal dip, and now they're both basically right the fuck back up. Oh, shit. That's really funny. But you might notice, right, this little dip that we just had right here, that was 80 units from Egus. So that should kind of show you the scope of what we're looking at. Although, really, the vast majority of our strength doesn't really lie in... Well, I say, we have a lot of chaff that is not useful to us, period. We have a lot of chaff that is very useful, just not maybe against Pewter. Take the Ampharos factories, for example, right? They're extremely useful to us as income sources. They're extremely useful against fighting certain enemies. They'd be great against, like Celadon, I believe, right? Or even against Viridian if we wanted to go that route. They'd be great against Atlantis, probably. But not against Pewter. Pewter is walking around with a bunch of rocks. Most of them have 25... lightning resistance, so not really a thing that's going to be helpful there. So, and then ascension points, Pewter has ticked up, but so have we. Okay, we've got a lot of ground to cover. I'm just gonna jump into it. In the Olivine City front, we're basically just moving forward with making Olivine City a good base of operations. We've carved out our borders a little bit more pleasantly with Atlantis. Atlantis is going to be keeping these. He stole the Lugia, or resummoned, one or the other. Atlantis is going to be keeping these. He's also going to be taking Trouble Bog. He might, we've talked about it, there are some Charmanders here, Sacred Charmanders here. He might look into utilizing those. That would be pretty cool. We are going to be holding Olivine City along with these provinces to move to and fro from, which is cool. We get sages from this province. Don't think we're actually going to do anything with them, though. If incomes jump and we just have some free dosh, we might do that. We are continuing to build the fortified village. That should be finished next turn. Radon is making a lab this turn. This whole group is moving into Olivine City along with Limerick. She actually, we didn't see it because we didn't watch the battle because Windsong Force was literally nothing, but she was on retreat, so she ran. So now she's down here, but she's fast enough to make it all the way up there, so no harm, no foul. Next turn, once Zenville gets here, we're going to be patrolling to get this all down, this unrest all down, so we can start recruiting and get the income ticking up here in Olivine City. Over here in Dragonscale Mountains, we are launching the assault. This is hopefully going to be the final attack on Olivine. His god is in here, but I do not think there is much aside from his god. This is a small army, but hopefully one that is going to be able to handle what is getting thrown at him. We have 20 or so black belts. So that's about 20 Machamps. That should be able to take on plenty of different individuals. We do have Frass and Shai Kal as Machampions, along with Simios, who does have Battle Fright, but that's still 25 morale, so he should be just fine. Fingers crossed. So they're going to be going in, they're doing Weapons of Sharpness, Strength of Giants, Weapon of Sharpness. They're going to be going in to hack and slash everything to pieces. Hopefully that will do just fine. I do have some Soul Slays queued up for our Kyogre because I don't really have anything else that he can do at the moment. And some minor buffs and debuffs from Latios. And then some Enslaved Minds just on the off chance that something is cool here and we might get something. Who knows? There is the possibility that his Groudon rebuffs this. His Groudon is very strong, and it does have Heat from Hell. However, I think that if his Groudon does not have anything to assist him, this is likely going to be the final battle. Chuck is moving into Dragonscale Mountains to help out, either help out or to just move into the location and then probably cap the throne there. And that's the hope. This is the Throne of the Moon. This gets us growth +1, which doesn't really matter to us except for in some provinces that might have decrease. I don't think that matters anyways. We do get precision +3, which is cool, and some water and astral. It's actually really nice though that we get Dominion Spread 2, which is pretty cool. So this is hopefully going to be the final battle with Olivine. Should be pretty cool. Been a very long, hard-fought war against Mares. If this is indeed the last turn for him, congratulations, you put me through the ringer. That was a pain in the ass. But yeah, well done. We're also sending Tarbal up into Dragonscale, and we're going to send Intemina into Finica, because from there we should be able to jump to something else like Lilidor or what have you. Basically, I'm just kind of hoping that, well, I think this area got taken over, and I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm just going to be able to stealth through without causing any issues right now. There's this big stack here from Vermilion, and I don't know what's up with that, but hopefully it's nothing, because that is a fair number of Machamps. Lobomater is heading down to Iron Peaks. We are hopefully going to be making it to any safe location in time, to the point to where actually I might do this. That's next turn. I might send one out to like intercept Lobomater, because I believe Lobomater. Nope, she's got a couple of hits, so maybe we won't do that. I don't know. I just don't want to lose her. It seems kind of like a big waste. But as long as I can get these guys back into our territory, it should be okay. Okay, so that's the Olivine City front. There's a whole lot going on there. Vilgo's still preaching down here because we don't have enough money to do anything else at the moment. That's fine. Over in Saffron City, Ininu is still heading his way towards the Great Dunes. Our territory is covered in snow right now, so he's not moving the fastest. The snow should break pretty shortly. in the next couple turns, we're going to be getting another Steelix champion next turn. And we're not going to have a full set of gear, but he's immediately going to head towards the Viridian City front, and then we should be able to develop a full set of gear pretty quickly before he gets over there. Other than that, nothing is really happening here in Saffron City. We're doing our... actually, we're not going to summon out. Send the grunts over to Viridian City, because once they're there, they can start boosting up the defense, because I'm anticipating occasional raids, and I want to start boosting defense in this province. I would love to get a temple down to get some more grunt acolytes, and actually get everything going, but we can't really do anything. Okay, Naboo is heading over to Viridian City. We're forging a Robe of Shadows. We're probably going to be forging Robes of Shadow for a while now. I think Robes of Shadow are probably going to be the best things that we can put onto the Steelix champions. I'm probably going to stop putting things like Armor of the Knights or the Dragon Armor or whatever, that type of stuff. I'm probably going to stop using those and just put on ethereal gear, because I think single-handedly the ethereal robes are probably going to be ethereal robes with boots of quickness, and then any sort of weapon is going to be a very, very big deal. I think getting pretty much all of them with a bottle of water is going to be really good, because our bless, it's not a crazy bless, fine. Minor bless, right? Shock resistance, poison resistance, cold resistance. Defense skill, that's kind of nice. And then what's really important is this magic resistance, okay? So the magic resistance is a kind of a big deal, in that, for example, like Naboo or something like that, that immediately puts him to 27 magic resistance. And 27 magic resistance is kind of that realm where it's not impossible, but unless you're utilizing penetration gear, nah, get out of here. You're not going to do anything. So I think it's going to be pretty important for us to try to get a lot of our super combatants and thugs into a very particular set of gear as we move into the late game. Obviously, there's different gear choices for different scenarios, but as a general, I think ethereal, quickness boots, and flask is going to be a minimum requirement. And then probably these girdle of mites, just for the reinvigoration, is so incredibly good. Obviously, if we could do something like an amulet from nature, that would be great, or a ring of regeneration, that would be great. But we can't, because our nature income is abysmal. So that's just is what it is. So we're just gonna have to deal with that. Okay, so in Viridian City, we are doing a couple of different things. Mostly we're just moving sources around. Umring is heading into Dampdale. This is because he can hit over in Typhia from there. He should be able to hit the Whispering Wastes from there. We're basically just trying to threaten different areas. So that's basically what's going on right there. Wanda's still patrolling. We're still basically training as much as we can here. We're going to have a set of raiders here next turn, and that's kind of a big deal, to the point to where I had forgotten about this, but I actually want to swap this person over here. So we're going to have a new Crush Girl be able to go out with a sizable little raiding party, do a fairly good amount of damage is the hope, and go from there. Other than that, we don't have a lot of particular things happening in Viridian City. We've got a lot of stuff going on around Viridian City, though, and this is basically the Cinnabar City front. So this is a new front that we get to open. Woo! All right, fantastic. So in the Cinnabar City front, we've got a bunch of different movements. So we've got information now. We know there is a sizable force here in the Mountains of Evernight, though we have killed the commander there, so it's going to be stuck there for a second, right? We know that there's a sizable force here in Star Peaks, and we know there's a sizable force here in Farseer Mountains. So, and we can see down here in Marini, there is a sizable force as well, of Machamps. So that's kind of scary. So what are we doing? Well, we're getting in position to start the raiding. So the concept that I have is more, I think it's likely that he's not going to just sit here and raid. He's probably going to move into my lands, right? He's probably going to attack, because why wouldn't he? So we're going to be moving and attacking in a couple of different locations. We're going to be stealthing in a little further with Terith. And if Terith gets caught, that's going to be unfortunate, but he's immortal. If he dies, we lose gear, but whatever, he'll come back. Denithia is also showing up in Miledeep, right? So she's going to be pushing forward with her little scenario. And we're actually 100%, we're just going to leave any units like this. Actually, do that. I guess any units that are stealthy we could take with us. Just have, like, guard. Why not? But the rest of these, they're dead. Good riddance. Get out of here. You might notice our income is really fucking good right now. We had a little over, I think we had 1,100 in our treasury this turn. That's amazing. We're going to keep trying to push for some of those options. I have a pretty good idea what our next big objective is going to be, and that is going to be finding a place with a lab, or popping a place and putting a lab in it real quick. So, for example, does he really? Can you not see labs? I don't think you can see labs. See labs? No, you can see labs. I can see a lab right here. But that's because I'm there. Yeah, good point. I don't think you can see labs outside of provinces that you're in. So the scenario being there is I'd like to get some scouts into the area. I am kind of, I guess. We still want to go this way. We're looking for gateway opportunities, basically. If we can find a very undefended location that's a little further in, we could potentially take that location, right, and pop it in a single turn, storm it, and then once we're in there, gateway an army or just a lot of random fucking units into the mix, right? Gateway from Cyanwood. So what we're doing is we're attacking. We're just going to start the raid train, but we're also just moving stealthy units into things. We're going to spread out some of these Steelix champions into a bunch of different locations, see how that goes, and move from there. So that's the Saffron City front. Should be pretty spicy over the course of the next couple turns. This is where we're going to see probably most of the action. Should be cool. Moving back to Cyanwood, we've got a couple of little things. We're moving, logistically, we're just moving armies towards Viridian City. And this is basically in preparation of, like, we don't want to waste time. We don't want to wait for someone to or we don't want to wait for a gateway opportunity. We want to make sure that we have good, strong forces on our front. That is going to be in the case of Ura, and then that's also going to be in the case of Benna. Both of these armies are going to be pretty big forces to reckon with. In particular, Benna's army is going to potentially be an issue, especially if we can reinforce it the way I'm wanting to. So we've got 3 more turns before we have Alt 9, and Benna is going to go 1, 2, 3. So she should be in Viridian City the turn we get, or either the turn before or the turn after the turn we get Alteration 9, which is great, because hopefully the plan will be to pair her up with a Steelix champion, slap a whole bunch of Earth Gems on that Steelix champion, and go, hey, baby, let's go. And just obliterate some people. And that should be fantastic. And the reason why I feel pretty good about that is because, sorry about that, Polyraths are pretty decent fighters. Pretty good hit points, pretty decent attack and defense skill, and they have full damage, which, as we've seen, is a random weakness of Pewter City's setup. So we're actually potentially going to have a advantage here with a lot of Polyraths and a fair chunk of Vaporeons, to the point to where I am actually considering continuing to recruit Poliwags, not to the detriment of my Prodigy recruitment, but it's something that we're considering. Anyways, we're moving Yura, Draggle, we're moving Benna and Barathras. Oh yeah, right. Barathras is another option for doing our my mind is blanking. Our buffs. Okay. Another thing that we're doing is we are going to be filtering out some of the chaff units. We have 93 units here that are kind of crap. We don't care about them. These units we love. We love these units because they're 0 upkeep. Fantastic. And these friggin' little ferrets with their 0 upkeep are +6 to patrolling. So they've got 7.4 patrol strength. They're amazing. I love them. Absolutely. I want all of these for the rest of forever because they're 0 upkeep cost. So we're going to keep them, but all the rest of them can fuck off. So we're going to go grab them, and then we're going to take them back to Cyanwood, and they're going to be some of the first fodder that goes in through any gateway that we utilize. So, Ziazar is moving up towards Great Dunes in order to tap that location. And so we do. We're doing some other fun stuff. Oh, I need to set that on. Right, because I had that put away. Nope, I want her training a monster. Surely I have a... Ah. There you go, Articuno. Research really well. Fantastic. Good job. So, we are prepping Kia and other gateways, like Sethanana, I think, is going to be another one of our potential gatewayers. But we're prepping Kia to be a good gatewayer. She is getting experience slowly but surely, which is good. The more experience she gets, the higher her leadership will go. But we're not relying purely on that, because that's going to take a little while. And we don't have we might have a while, but we might not. So part of the plan is to buff her leadership through items. So she's got a Crown of Command, and we're also working on a Scepter of Authority. Fantastic. That's going to be another 50. And if we check up here, we're also forging a Whip of Command. Whip of Command is 100. It does give you malices, right? I believe it gives you negative inspirational. But we're not using it for real command. We're just using it to get people around. So in just bonus gear, that's going to be an extra 200 command, 200 leadership, for Kia to be able to teleport people around. And in the meantime, we're also going to just keep buffing that up with experience. So we will look for good opportunities, right? Good gateway opportunities. Keep in mind, gateway, I have to check. Just do that. Something like gateway is Astral 4, costs 10 pearls, and it has a 6 province range. which is pretty crazy. 6 province can cover a lot of ground, so we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? We could jump right into Lilidor. So this is 4. We could do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could jump right into Cinnabar City, right? We can do some other crazy stuff, like we can go in some other directions. Kind of weird. So we can do like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into Cerulean City. Obviously, we don't have anything going on there right now, but if we see like the majority of his forces coming through, we can actually like take a little stealth Steelix squad over to something like Cerulean City, or maybe up to the Dreyer Caverns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there, easy peasy. I mean, not easy peasy necessarily, but it's definitely something that we can do. So that's a thing that we want to keep an eye on. And yeah, go from there. So what else are we doing? We're doing some. We're doing a lot of forging. Forging is incredibly important to us right now. So we're making more dwarven hammers. Our earth gem income is up pretty good, to the point to where I feel pretty strong about being able to utilize more dwarven hammers. We're going to just keep producing those probably for a little while longer. We're taking a big risk here, and this is what I was talking about earlier with seeing the Zapdos, is we're going to try to summon a Queen of Elemental Air. I have not seen a Queen of Elemental Air in play anywhere as we kind of moved around. We were successful with the Pyroflogos. I am hopeful that we would be successful with the Queen of Elemental Air. There are 3 of them. Fingers crossed. It's very likely that this is going to end up being a failure, though. Which is why I was like, maybe we just take the Zapdos instead. But I think Zapdos means that we get into a continual war with Pewter over the ownership of the creature. And he wins that. He wins that by a landslide because his gem income is just so incredibly high compared to mine. Even if we are unsuccessful with this Queen of Elemental Air cast, that is, it hurts to lose the 50 gems, but we're losing the 50 gems in the element that we care the least about for those right now, because it's not a big deal anymore. So not super worried about it. And if we don't get a queen, we do get information. Okay, so that's all right in the end. Anything else? We got lucky. Our Lamia Queen rolled 1 blood. We have already put a brazen vessel on her. She's got a dwarven hammer. She's going to be making a sanguine dowsing rod this turn. Then she's going to be heading out to Dathan next turn with that same sanguine dowsing rod, and she is going to be blood hunting. And she's going to be blood hunting probably, I say this. Yeah, no, I say this. I'm pretty positive on this, actually. She's gonna be blood hunting until she gets probably until she gets 77 slaves. Because as soon as she gets 77 slaves, we can, in a matter of, or as soon as she gets anywhere close, right? We're probably going to switch gears over to blood magic. In a scant handful of turns, we can very, very quickly turn around and get a Vampire Lord. And with a Vampire Lord, that literally just turns into more blood hunting, and in 10-15 turns time we could have a full, legit 100% blood economy on our hands. Absolutely, if this game goes 30 more turns, we will 100% have a full-blown blood economy. We'll have vampires everywhere. We'll have demon lords, etc. Right? And I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything to suggest this, but I don't think anyone else is really doing anything blood-oriented. None of the Pokemon, none of the trainers, none of them have any sort of blood. So unless someone has snagged some sorceresses, he's got Jade sorceresses, but I haven't seen any Garnets or anything like that. I think we might be uncontested as far as blood goes. Now, of course, Pewter, anybody could literally do the exact same thing that we're doing right now. The only flip side to it is we have a pretty strong astral economy, and we've had a pretty strong astral economy for a while. And the only reason this is incredibly easy for us is because we have had pretty good luck with a Brazen Vessel, and we have Rings of Sorcery and shit. Like, we have options to buff a Lamia Queen up to the point to where she could cast a whole lot of different shit, right? So it's going to be very easy for us to break into blood and really scale up it very, very quickly. That's cool. Awesome. And that's mostly it. We have Pyroflogos. We're not doing anything with him this turn. I have some ideas for what I might like to do with him, but I'm not going to toss him to the wind just yet. We're going to figure out some plans first. Because again, right, I would love to just be like, oh, let's go. But my target is Pewter City. And Pewter City is, generally speaking, kind of strong against fire. So, that means we might have some better options from Pyroflogos than sending him out as a super combatant or sending him out as a big battle mage. So those are both still options. We could even do something as simple as putting fire boosters on him. And we talked about the concept of having Rex do alchemy. We could have Pyroflogos do alchemy. And we could supercharge our income for quite a bit, actually. So we're going to see what actually comes of that. It'll probably be a couple turns before we... I think that's about it for the turn. Trying to remember. It's been a while since I've really talked about mercenaries, and that's because I haven't found any. Like, I check them pretty much every turn, but I haven't found any that I really care about. I was looking for goats earlier to break into blood, but I never saw any. Pewter has been grabbing them, mostly to fight against Ekrutik, I believe. But who knows? Alright, that's it for the turn. I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.